Here we are, we're live. This is Tuesday. It's lunchtime, and got a song for you. When the night is come, land is dark, and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. Oh, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. Darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. There we go. That is it. We've got the lovely Rebecca Yo with us today. Hello, Rebecca.
Hello. Hi, Ashley. Hi, everybody.
So I guess you've been interviewed a million times and no one's ever played you a song before, eh?
It's great. I love it.
Oh, excellent.
There's always the first.
Fantastic. So please tell me, why did you choose that song?
Well, I think it's the movie. I've just always grown up with it. I've loved it. It's one you always sing around a campfire. You sing it when there's no music and people decide to do the percussion for you. It's great. I love it.
Excellent. Oh, thank you very much indeed. So a little secret to everybody listening. I have a repertoire, right, of songs, and they are on a list, and I give all my guests, they have to choose from that because I'm not that brilliant at playing stuff. And you came back to me with this song I've never heard on it. Oh dear, who does she think I am? So I hope I haven't disappointed you.
No, it was great. Thank you.
So we're just talking about this young lady as well. So hi, Odessa. How are you? Thanks for tuning in.
Odessa.
So you are Rebecca Yo. You are an actress, a voiceover artist, but you do loads of other stuff as well, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
And you've started using LinkedIn, and you're doing quite a bit on LinkedIn, I notice.
Thanks to you. I've been a bit slack of late, but you were literally the inspirer of it all.
Oh, bless you. Oh, okay. Thank you. But you've been slack because you've had an awful lot on recently, haven't you? What have you been up to?
Yeah, so I've been working on quite a few voiceover projects, and so that has been quite a lot of fun. But that means long days in the studio or just recording at home. So yeah, that's been mainly it. And I was off on a shoot in Ipswich, so that was good.
Right. Okay. This is really exciting. First of all, though, this is 50 minutes behind the profile, so I really need to know a little bit about your LinkedIn use. And we don't get many actors on the workshop. So what is it you like about LinkedIn, Rebecca?
Well, it's not a platform that I think us in the creative industry actually use. So coming to LinkedIn was really, I think, a whole new world, literally. And I love the fact that you can, learn so much so quickly about a person and what they've been up to just from their profile page. So it's like a quick glance at an online CV, whether or not, they're in my industry or not. And it was just great to connect.
No, fantastic. But you've been doing lots of other things as well and letting people know what you've been up to, which is absolutely fantastic, isn't it?
It's been great. Yeah. And I think the cross-sectional nature of LinkedIn with different industries is so useful and something I never tapped into before, but it's great. I love it.
Good. Well, I hope I haven't got you too hooked. So, because that's the other thing. Some people do spend an awful lot of time on LinkedIn. So that's the thing. Right. Okay. So how much time do you spend on LinkedIn just on average?
Maybe a few times a week, and
Okay.
and maybe I check in once a day. Yeah, just depending on what the days are like. Yeah.
If you're posting on LinkedIn, what do you find is the best time for you?
Anytime, Ashley. To be honest, it feels like people are there all the time. I mean, there's always someone there who will look at something or respond to something.
So Odessa is one. She's actually met you in real life. Look at that.
Yes, you did, Odessa.
So most people I speak to are all about getting business on LinkedIn. Okay, so my next question really is, I sort of like, what are you using LinkedIn for, or can you get business as a actor on LinkedIn?
Yes, actually, I would say mainly, well, I've been looking into it a bit more for our industry, and I think a lot more is about like getting people interested in what you do, and people who are interested then want to probably help you out, like what Odessa did, what you did. Also in investments, if you're looking to fundraise for a project, but also a lot of production companies and like voiceover people are on LinkedIn, and if you're running a voiceover business at home by yourself, then it's also very viable, a viable way to connect with production houses and recording studios and independent, publishers like that.
So you're actually finding a new niche for what you're doing by using the platform to
I'm
get to
beginning to
people.
find, yes, yeah.
No, I think that's the amazing thing with it. You can find people, and then you can quite easily connect with them, can't you? And
Yes.
if you don't know them, one of your connections might be connected to them, and then you can get an introduction. So I think that, yeah, absolutely superb. Okay, so this next section is all about you. Okay, so tell us this project that you've just been doing, because I've got a little clip as well, haven't I? So tell us a little bit about that before I play the clip.
Right. So it's actually The Sandman. It's a Neil Gaiman audible book. It's an audio drama, audio book, whatever you might call it, because it's dramatized, it's got music, it's voiced by a brilliant cast, headed by James McAvoy. We've got Michael Sheen, David Tennant. They're just brilliant people on it. And I played one of the characters called Barbara Wong, who is a late night radio host in New York. And at this time, the clip you're going to play, there's huge hurricane happening, and Neil Gaiman narrates the beginning, so you'll hear his lovely voice.
Let's do this then. This is a first for me, so a proper clip on my show. So let's, fingers crossed.
New York City, 4 a.m. night.
This is Barbara Wong with you until dawn with music, phoning, news. This time of the morning, I do everything around here, including make the coffee. You out there? Hear from you if you are. Talking. I'm gonna pour me a coffee while I wait for the lights on this phone to.
That is amazing. That is amazing. So are you allowed to whatever dispel the magic or whatever? Did you just record that like I'm here now with a microphone and that was it, or was there's loads of other stuff going on? That was
Literally.
it. Quite sterile.
I mean, we were in a recording studio along with other actors, and directed by the brilliant Dirk. And if you're into sci-fi, the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Aliens, he directed all those. So he's been around for ages, and I did Aliens, that was directed by him as well. And he literally just directs you because he's got this cinematic vision in his head, and he knows exactly what he's going to do with it with Neil Gaiman. And I literally just say the words, and then they make magic happen around it.
That is phenomenal. So you say there's other actors there doing the voiceovers. Are you all in the same room at the same time, or how does all that work?
So we're in a big booth, a big sound recording studio, and then they're different mics, and then and we just say our bits, and at times we engage with each other, and it's great. It's like having a big play. You're just
sure.
It's so much fun.
Wow. So, look, I'm looking at you in starry eyes because I've done a little bit of acting, but obviously nothing like you've done.
Yeah.
And so it's reminding me of the old radio plays, and you see someone shutting a door and stuff like that. And I guess it's all done electronic nowadays. But was it really like that? It's like you got Martin Sheen sort of like doing something, and Mr. McAvoy doing his stuff.
And I mean, of course, with people who are in the US, I mean, they just dial in and do it, and they'll record remotely. With Dirk. But yeah, it's and that's why I think it's so exciting when everything comes together, because you're listening to it and you see what Dirk and the sound engineers have done with it, and it's magic. And then the music, of course, it's brilliant.
No, that is incredible. I'm a big fan of audiobooks.
Okay.
But I listen to business books. So basically, the author is talking to me as I'm taking a walk. And when I heard that clip, wow, I didn't realize they did that with audiobooks. It's a big production, isn't it, Rebecca?
It's massive. And if you're an Aliens fan, Aliens 3, which Dirk did as well about a couple of years back, is also like that, but it's with Dolby sound. So, if the aliens are up above your head, you hear it above you. And if it's on the right, you hear it. It's incredible. Like, the sound blows you away.
No, absolutely superb. So but you've also done acting in front of a camera.
Yes,
So,
that's right.
so with makeup artists, and I think one day we had a chat, and your dress agent was on the phone or something.
Yes, they called about wardrobe.
That's right. I'm like, wow.
That was
So
hilarious.
what do you prefer? The audio stuff or the acting?
They're such different mediums,
Yeah.
Ashley. You know, like I think what I love about my job is the variety. And that's what, I love about LinkedIn. There's so much variety on it because, you get to meet so many different people. And it's like my job. You learn about different industries all the time, even if I'm researching a play or a film or a book, I'm always learning something different, like you do on LinkedIn, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. And so I guess with audio, you can do it in any old studio, but if it was a film, you've got to go all over the place. So where have you been exciting when you're making movies?
Oh, it totally depends what it is. And, with the lockdown, I think a lot of it was they tried to keep it local just because of all the restrictions. So that was tough. So the last most exciting place, I think, was Ipswich, I think, because it was so beautiful by the coast. And they had recreated Southern California down by Ipswich, down by the coast. It was quite dramatic, and it was quite incredible what they'd done with it.
That is
You
amazing.
never know. With a set, they always transport you no matter where you are.
Have you ever done any work on the green screen?
Only for I'm trying to think, for video game work, and
Okay.
then for corporate role play stuff, corporate training videos. That's green screen work. Yeah.
Okay. So here I am. I've done my Amdram, and I'm just thinking, you just go and do a little bit of acting. So you're doing video, you're doing video games, you're doing audiobooks, you're doing movies and mini series for Amazon. So it's quite incredible. It's a big varied thing that you do, isn't it?
It is, and I think that's what I love. I love the variety.
Because you're looking at your profile, you've done quite a few games. I'm not a gamer, so I don't actually know anything about games, but you're on some big titles as well, aren't you?
Yeah, it's been really fun. I've really enjoyed it. I didn't really, and the thing is, you don't really know what they are until you get into the studio sometimes, because they're so secretive. There's so many NDAs you sign. And then you get in there and there's always code names. Project Cheetah, I don't know, Project Khan. And then you go in, you go like, oh, that's what it's about. But then sometimes it gives it away, when you look at the lines and you go like, oh, I think might be that. And you go in there and they tell you more. And it's very exciting.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. We got a question here, and if anyone else has got any questions, then please just fire away. Should I vet it first? Oh, that's a great question, Paul. So how did you keep motivated during lockdown and the impact that it had on your industry? Did the audio work save the day? Great question.
Great question, Paul. Thanks for checking on that, because I think it was a really hard time for us in the industry, because most of our work can't be done at home. So I think a lot of it was, we all literally, well, I did a lot of reading, and I decided to use that time to upskill myself with my voice work. And there's a great community called the Voiceover Network, and they provide a great source of resource for voiceover work. So I started to upskill myself and learn more about my craft and just get better at what I'm doing. So that was great, because I felt that I was being productive without, straining myself, because I think there was something what they called COVID fatigue or pandemic fatigue, where everyone was just working and doing so much to keep themselves so busy that you got tired, right? So I know I was guilty of that. So I tried scaling down. Audio work did save the day. I was very grateful for that. I actually recorded a video game whilst during lockdown, which was weird. It was Evil Genius, which came out too, and that was really fun. And then I recorded Doctor Who during lockdown as well, radio drama, and that was great because there were loads of other people on call, and of course you get the classic, dropouts with Wi-Fi and things like that. I recorded another soap series for radio. It was really fun. It did save the day. It helped break the monotony. It helped keep me sane. But I think most of all, because as a freelancer, as an artist, our job is so solitary anyhow, you find ways of being resilient, and building your own kind of community and work ethic.
Yeah, no, fantastic. It's crazy. I can't imagine all the different things that you've had to do, but that is great that you are so versatile. And I think that's what you're always going to get work, aren't you? Because if all you did was If you were in the mousetrap, for example, then that's it. That's all you're going to be able to do. But no, it's great. We've got another question here. What is the most fun you've had on set? From Odessa.
Oh my goodness. I think, honestly, I think the greatest fun was probably the last thing I did, which was the power for Amazon. And it was just so much fun because it was such a big scale production, and there were loads of us who were on set at the same time because it was a culmination of huge, the last episode, and we just had it was night shoot, so it was pretty brutal. We worked from 7 at night till 5 in the morning.
Wow.
Smoothly, and it was pretty brutal, but it was just great fun. I think when everyone is invested, committed to making something good, everyone has a good time. It's exhausting, but you just enjoy it because when it's over, and then you wait for the next thing.
Yeah, I was listening to an interview with Jodie Comer. Do you know Jodie Comer?
Yes.
I can't think what the series she's in, Killing Eve. And she was saying about she's doing the last one at the moment, and she knows that it's going to be really sad when they end, because when she ended the previous one, it was like, oh, we'll see you all again soon, but this is going to be the very last one. And when you do some things, that is a one-off, so you build into this great big community, and then everyone goes and that's it. And so that can be quite sad, can't it?
Yeah, it is. It really is. And you build those relationships and friendships, but it doesn't, it's quite, I would say, transitional, it's very, it doesn't last, but and sometimes you do. Yeah.
I got a great question here from Mikhail. Do you have a secret recipe on how to hide being nervous?
Yes. I mean, you
cannot. So hang on. Do you get nervous?
Yes, of course, definitely.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I think the best thing I've and as actors, we're constantly battling that. That is something we always do, because especially when we do something live, when we're on stage or we're on set, or I'm in an audition or a recording, or hosting, because I do host as well. You always have the nerves. And the thing is that they always say, I mean, I know the classic thing is everyone says, imagine a room full of naked people, but you can't always do that. It doesn't always serve you, because sometimes you just forget what you're going to do. So I think the best advice I've been given was to actually ride the wave. So, use that energy, that nervous energy, and ride with it, but also to use the power of breath. So really just take a moment to breathe, pause, instead of launching straight in. Because when we're nervous, I think the first thing we do is just speak, or talk or do. And actually there's huge power in just being and taking a breath and taking that moment before you launch into whatever you have to do. So that's my secret.
I think that's great advice. And do you find that when you go and do something now, you go, if you think back, you did it a few years ago, you were really nervous. When you do it now, you're less nervous. Do the nerves subside because you've done it quite a few times?
I think it depends on what job it is. There will always be a level of nerves, but I think the more skilled you are at something, then it's like knowing your craft more and more. But when I always think that as an actor, and I don't know, I'm sure in all the other industries as well, we learn from so much from the people we're around as well. You're always picking up things, you're always learning on set in the recording booth. So yes, that's what I feel.
No, cool. I love that. Odessa doesn't like live stuff. So she's got another question for us. Is there a project that you would love to be part of?
Gosh, there are loads of projects. Loads of them, Odessa. I mean, there's so many. I think I would love to be part of a Marvel, a commercial franchise at some point. That would be really fun, just for the sheer fun of it. But also, I love independent films, and I think because there's so much work and so much goes under the radar, and working with certain directors who have, who just pick up brilliant scripts and make something beautiful out of it. In terms of recording and audio work, I love that I've worked with so many brilliant people, and I think the more you do, people get to know you and then they recommend you, or so it's kind of like that, I think. So There are quite a few, Odessa. It's hard to name one.
Yeah, that's a tough question, Odessa, but a good
Mhm.
question. So are you allowed to tell us what you're working on at the moment, or or not? Beginning
I've
with
got
D.
no, I think I've signed 2 NDAs, but
All right.
but I'm working on something else in the following week. But I've got quite a few books coming out that just come out at the moment, and which has been really lovely. So Keep of the Night was one, another audiobook, and there was Luck of the Titanic, written by this lovely American Asian author who based a book on the events of the Titanic as it sunk, and the few Chinese immigrants that were there, you know, the refugees, and she fictionalized the story, and it was great. And it just won an Earphones Audio Award, which is great.
Oh, fantastic.
And that's where I had Brummie and Irish and
Oh,
American.
come on.
No, I can't do
other
Brummie.
accents, because that lady in that clip was American. So what other accents can you do?
I can't do it on cue. I have to practice. Yeah, but there were quite a few, and I think the trick that was really fun because I had to keep count with the director, and she was lovely. Who was who, you know, which voice belonged to who, because by the time you play about 10 to 15 different voices, you're like, who's the one with the fruity voice? Who's the one with the low husky one?
So my little grandson's got this book. I think it's called The Day the Crayons Went on Strike.
Oh, I
So
love the title.
do you know that book, or you
No,
just
I don't, but I love the title.
So basically, this kid has been overcoloring with some colors, and they all write him a letter. And so I've put all these voices together for all the different colors. It's absolutely hilarious. So
How brilliant!
yeah, so
Well,
it's
you
brilliant.
could be publishing some
Well,
books of your own there.
I'd absolutely love to. So the red crown is very shouty because he's been using me to colour in the fire engines and Father Christmas. And then I go through all the different voices that I can do, and it's just silly, but it's good fun.
That's brilliant.
But I struggle as to, hang on, which one was this? Who was that?
It's
So, yeah,
but it's true. It's brilliant. You kind of need like they call it like, you know, a cliff, a cliff, not a cliffhanger, but something that a sentence said in that accent or tone that brings you into it. And I usually record them. Yeah.
No, cool. We've gone over our 50 minutes already.
Oh.
We've had some lovely questions. I could sit here and ask you loads of questions all day. You've been absolutely delightful. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for coming along. Before we say goodbye, I've got a couple more questions, but I just want to give a shout out. So as an acting star this week, next week we've got a rock star. How do we get that up there? I've put it in the wrong place. Oh, let's see if we can remove you. An amazing guy. So he's on next week. So Tom Morley next week. So I've got a couple of questions. What would you tell your 16-year-old self?
To give zero, to not care, to put it politely, just go for it, you know? Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And so thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you, Ashley.
Looking forward to seeing everything else that you do, and looking forward to watching The Power. When's that out?
I think next year sometime.
Oh, really? Oh, ages.
Yeah.
So it's all the post-production and goodness of that. Okay.
Yeah.
But when it comes out, I'll be able to say, I spoke to that lady.
Oh, it's been so brilliant. Thank you for singing. I didn't, you know, that was a great surprise. And thanks for having me on the show.
No, thanks for coming. Bye-bye, everyone. And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
See ya.